Do we need 6? So I'll do that first.
No. I need. Yeah, let's all.
So I'm going to run 6 really fast. So if this football player completed 56.4% of their passes last season and they threw, I don't want calligraphy. They threw 250. To figure that out, you would just take your 0.564 times the 250 to find the passes they completed.
Whoa.
What? Question, Alex?
Where did you get the 0?
Because it was 56.4. To make that into a decimal, we have to move that decimal 2 locations. So that's where we get I just put the 0 out front just because. Like, just so I can see that the decimal is going to go there. So, then once we do that, so I'm not going to walk through the whole problem. This season they threw 357, had completed 193. To find that percent, when we're looking for the percent is going to equal the part divided by the whole. So my part for the new season is 193. My whole is 357. That's how we calculate the percentage this season. And then we compare them. We have to say what the difference between them was. And then we have to say what the pass increases was, like the completion increases. Ooh, what do you mean? That, I think, was the last problem that we did.
The second one.
Yes.
The second part to that.
Is it the
Wait, so we're going to see it closer up.
Is it still recording?
It's gonna be, yeah, it's still recording. It's gonna be on Schoology. Like, feel free to check it out at Extensions. Like, I'll try to post it right afterwards.
So you do that to find the passes?
We do that to find the percent of this year. Because my 357 and my 193, that's this year's. Whatever's in green up here, that's last year's passes. So, where's my calculator? I was gonna try to hurry through this, but... So this would be 141, except I want that green.
Why did you change the rating on it?
It just did it, but I'm not going to waste time changing it back, and it does kind of look better.
It's the calligraphy.
I know. So this, when I find out the percentage, is 54.06, which it's going to probably tell me to round to the 10th once I get to my answers. So this year, her passing completion actually went down. Because last year, their completion was 56.4. This year, it's 54.06%. So we're going to jump on over to 8.
Oh, 7.
Okay, sorry, I thought that was 7. 7. Antique deal. Okay, so this problem messes everyone up every year, and it's because you're not reading carefully, but I leave it here because it's part of what they do on like standardized tests. They want to trick you by how they phrase things. So, antique dealer has a fund of $1,140. He spends 50% of this fund on a 1915 rocking chair. This is a distractor. It is not a number that we care about. That's a date. We're not in social studies, we're in math. We normally don't care about dates. So, then we find out that this antique dealer then sold the chair for $710. Well, let's find out what he spent on the chair. Well, if they spent half, like 50% is just half of 1,140, that's going to be 570. So that's what they spent on the chair. So the first thing to ask me is the investment gain. Now here's the thing, and here's where you're going to make your mistakes. We gained, well, 710 minus 570. I need to borrow, so I get 6, 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. I have a 0 there. I get 140. That's how much money he made in profit. But that goes back into the original fund of 1,140. So to look at the investment that he gained $140 into his fund of $1,140. A lot of you would try to do the division, put on the bottom the 570, but it's not. We put all the money back into that same fund, that same account, and it's 140 divided by 1,140, and we get After I multiply by 100 and make it a percent, I get about 12.3% gained.
Wait, how do you get?
And I will check my answer. I'll capture this, but then I'll check my answer just so you guys know. Because that's how much money we gained from selling that chair. 12.3. So now the new value of the fund, do I have more money or less money than I had?
No more.
We have more. We sold the chair, we made money, so it's going to be more than the original. So that's 112.3%. Cool?
There's a second. He just did.
It's done.
Is the topic 6 review homework?
Optional. Yeah, I should have written it up on our homework
Are there
board.
going to be like a test revision for
Yes.
this? Or
Maybe do 8.
do revisions for the test?
Yeah, that was easy.
Don't know. Depends on how people do it. Huh?
This question, I hate this question.
I'm sorry. Maybe this question likes you. Maybe you need to give it a chance. Your shoe's untied, by the way. I just don't want you to trip later. 3 adults go out to dinner. This is just like the grocery store problem. So 3 adults go to dinner. It comes to $35 after tax and tip. That's everything together. The total that they want to leave, $35. John said he'll pay 34%. Molly said she'll pay 50%. And Amar said he'll pay 17%. If each person rounds up to the nearest dollar, by what percent will they overpay? Well, let's work through and find out what's John going to pay, then what's Molly going to pay, and what's Amar going to pay. So John is going to pay 34%. I set that up as my decimal value, 0.34, times the total bill, which is 35. 34 hundredths, or 34%, times my bill of 35. John's going to pay about $11.90, but they said they all round up. So John ends up paying $12. I should put a squiggly equals here.
Why do you put a squiggly?
Because it's approximately, it's not the exact answer, but because we were told to round up, that is the answer that I need to work with. Molly is going to pay 50%, or 0.50 of the 35. Well, I know that that's $17.50, just because I'm used to working with 35. Rounded up, Molly's going to pay approximately $18. And Amar said that he'll pay 17%, so that's 0.17 times my 35. When I do that math, I get $5.95. Amar's getting off easy here. Well, I'd like to be the guy paying $6. So if he rounds up, he's going to pay $6. So in total, if I add these up, well, 12 plus 18 already gives me 30. Hey, ladies, knock off the drama. And then I get 6. I make assumptions. So how much did they overpay by? How many dollars did they overpay by? 1. But that's not what we're being asked. We're being asked the percent that they overpaid by. So how do I find the percent that they overpaid by? Percent is always part divided by whole. Braden? The amount they overpaid by the actual. So this is just like percent error. Their overpay, their error was $1. The total, the real amount was 35. So we do 1 divided by 35. And when I make that into a percent, rounding to the nearest tenth, well, that's going to be 2.857. But if I round to the nearest tenth, that really gives me 2.9%. So that's how we do that. Questions?
Wait,
So,
you just did the problem for me.
okay.
Yeah, so did you.
If you see it and you think through it and you like on the mastery, I'll know if you know this stuff. I don't care if I've done some problems for you. It's not so much about you doing it, it's about practicing it and seeing it. So if I solve it out for you, great. At least you know how to do it correctly.
Actually, you kind of didn't do it for us because they're different.
Yeah, it depends on if your numbers that come up are the same or if your numbers that come up are different. Number 9, 6 roommates dealing with utilities. Let's check number 10 then, because I know they get a little bit harder.
I know the answer.
Well, it's not about knowing the answer.
It's C.
No, it's
So,
What about
the-
number 9?
Oh, wait, no, no, no.
I know, I asked if anyone needed it, and nobody said anything.
Just to stump us.
Okay, so Alpha needs number 9, but he's not paying attention.
Oh.
6 roommates buy a sofa for $660. Each roommate pays 15% of the price. So we have 6 roommates all paying 15% of the price. So to find the total percent, we can do 6 times 16. I know 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 6 is 36. So we get 96%. Now wait, can you only pay 96% of a sofa?
No.
No, they're not going to give you your sofa. They won't like chop off the rest of it and give you 96% of it. You've got to pay for all of it.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I want
So
mine
their total will be less or greater. Well, if we got 96%, are they paying more or less than they should? They're paying less, and by how much? 4%, right? Because 100 minus 96 would give me that 4% difference. I don't know why it's doing that
That's
now.
why
I have to
my
use the
mom's
keyboard.
computer does its touchscreen and does that same blue water drop.
Okay, why does your font look different today?
Oh, but no, their percent will be less than the price by. We've already covered that question.
You can skip one. I already got the answer. And no one else needs to.
Oh, it wasn't 16%, it was 15%.
I was
So-
gonna tell you.
Well, you should have. You would have gotten candy then.
Oh, come on. dude.
So it was 15%, so this was really 95. So this should be a 5, not a 4. They're really off by 5%.
Yeah, he did this on purpose. So he could catch it. Did you do it on purpose?
No,
Yes, he-
but now this is being really weird.
Maybe it's doing this on purpose.
Oh,
Wait, I gotta figure this out.
So, mental math.
Wait, is this recorder at the
No. It's not B, trust me. This is just wrong. I keep doing the mental math wrong because I'm trying to work too fast. This is proof in point that regardless of how smart you are, working fast will screw you up. What's 6 times 15? 90, not 95. Don't know why we're thinking that. So really, they're off by 10%, which is absurd. You can't only pay 90% of the cost of something. You guys notice that's why I programmed this to give you 3 chances. If you look at what comes up in the red box, it really does help you. You gotta read what comes up in that help box.
I know the answer. For number.
Yes, I know, chill.
You should have let me finish. I knew your mistake.
Sorry, we're trying to get through as much as possible, bud. So what equation can you use to find the number of customers the store had in November? We have to look at what is it really asking for. In October, store had 325 customers. Purchase items. In November, there were 12% more customers. We want to then use this equation using a percent greater than 100. So, Miriam, which...
I think it's A or B.
well, you can't say or.
Okay, B.
Nick?
I think it's D.
Hey, Braden, stop. I'm recording audio. That's just going to be clicking in the audio.
I think
You think it's
B.
C? D? Guys, this should like smack you in the face with that's our percent equation. Part equals the percent times the whole. Now here's the thing. The percent here though went up. It's 12% more than what it was.
Are you on YouTube?
No.
So, since we're 12% more, that's really 112%, which is really 1.12 once we move that decimal. So now I do 1.12 my percent times my whole, which was 325. Sorry, that should be multiplication. So November's customers, maybe this was like for snow blowers or something, where as the weather gets worse, their sales go up. So they had 364 customers.
This one was easy for me. 420 for me. Got it. Thank you. 11.
Yeah.
Me.
Manufacturer of electronics expects 1.03% of its products to be defective, so just over 1%. In a recent production run, 276 components were found to be defective. So pay attention. You got to look at the values. Obviously, this is a percent, but whenever you're given a number, you want to ask yourself, is it the part or is it the whole? Since it's the amount that were found to be defective, is that all of them or is that part of them?
It's all of them.
Are you thinking every single part they make is defective?
Wait, the way you said it sounded like it was. It's part of them. Whole.
276 components were found to be defective.
Oh, I know.
So the defective ones are the
know.
parts.
I know what it is.
Here's the thing though. We've been given the parts and we've been given the percents. So what are we missing?
The whole.
The whole. You want to write this formula down and it's going to be very useful on your test tomorrow and like on your homework. But percent, remember, has to be a decimal. So then when we go to find that, we can say that the whole or the total amount of components they made, well, we can take their 276, divide it by the decimal form of my percent, which 1.03%, when I convert that, I now have to put a 0 in front. So I get 0.0103 as my decimal form. 276.
We got 2 minutes.
They make 26,796, and then I get like 0.1165, but we're gonna need to round because it's like number of parts. So we would really just say 26,796.
So it's A.
And that's it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
So,
For the
That's
so
it, wait.
one just now, we round it, right?
7?
The last number. Do we round the last number for the one?
Yeah, you would. I'm pretty sure you would round to the nearest whole number because you can't make partial components. So what about number 7?
I'm not done.
Just it's weird. It's a difficult problem. So this has given me easier numbers this time. Every time you get it wrong, digits is set up to make it easier. So it's the same process. It's just numbers. It doesn't change the process at all. It makes the numbers easier to work with. Because look,
But then
if
why when you're starting off the problems it's easy and then it gets harder as you go? That makes sense.
because it only has so many problems that it can cycle through.
Mr. Hudson.
The hot chocolate proof will be during break time in the library. See Angelina for that.
Trust me, when it's like 2 degrees outside, you'll want some hot chocolate.
Oh my
So this investor,
I'll bring some hot tea.
50% is half of 1,000.
Can I get my phone?
Yeah. So that's 500. If they spend 500, sell it for 790. Hey guys, chill. Ben asked for this question, so we're solving one more. If you want to get out of here, you can. It's that time. So quietly pack up and go, but I'm going to keep solving this. So Ben, he's profited $290
This is my last
into his fund that originally had $1,000. Now this is real nice because to convert this to a percent, I can chop off those zeros and it just becomes a 29% increase. But then Ben will ask you the new value of the fund and then you use a percent over 100.
to space.
Hold up.